Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to a new video. I said yesterday that I will also upload a ETH video. I didn't manage that, so therefore now you're getting the video today, and I will also later on upload a very quick and short video about BTC update. That's just a few minutes. For now we are only going to look at ETH. If you like the content, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share this video with your friends if you think this is useful. Also feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Those links are also in the description. Without further ado, let's start diving in. As I said, we are going to look at ETH. This is ETH USD on the 4 hour, and this is a channel that we are already in for a while. Already showed you this I think last week, and so far the upper line and the bottom line are so well respected, as well as the center line. Look at this, 1, 2, 3 taps. This candle had the 4th tap and then we broke through. One candle was resistance, next one was through the resistance, and then here yesterday we had again a super nice tap, and earlier today we also had here a very nice tap exactly from that center line. So you can see that the levels are very much respected, and that except for this fake out or deviation, however you want to call it, this channel is still very much in play. But I slowly are coming to the conclusion that ETH might have a little bit of a catch up to do compared to BTC. And also I think I said this once last week already, is that ETH usually in full-on bear mode moves somewhere between 1.5 and 2 times faster than BTC for the move up, but also for the move down. In the last few weeks we have seen that BTC has the highest volatility, meaning that sometimes BTC pumped 3, 4, 5%, and then ETH was always a little bit underneath. But I'm slowly getting the idea that money might be rotating a little bit more towards ETH, and that we might see a pretty big impulse to the upside. Before we're going to look at it, let's first look at some targets. We had the low here put in, then the high. We retraced yesterday exactly to the 0.5, and now again we bounced off from that center line as I mentioned before. We still have that super macro value profile that we are trading at, and you can also see, if I now zoom back in again, now that we have the value area high, how the levels actually are respected. We bounce off exactly from the value area high, and also on this 4 hourly candle that has been closed underneath. I mean, look at it, how we just went to that support line, and then we also just tapped here into the value area high and then went down again, and here exactly that value area high. Unbelievable, very nice. I have to say these levels are very respected. What is a little bit less respected on this ETH chart are levels like a daily level, a weekly level, sometimes smaller intermediate point of controls. Also the fib levels are sometimes a little bit deeper, or swing filled patterns. For example, sometimes we see, and that is then a little bit hard to trade, is that let's say ETH is making a swing filled pattern from a certain low. Let's take this one just for example. We had a low, then we had one candle with a swing filled pattern, and then BTC does not have that swing filled pattern yet, and then on the next move BTC is going down, and then we are completely breaking that structure and really closing below, and then suddenly the chart looks a little bit more ugly before we're moving higher. So that is sometimes a little bit annoying on the ETH chart. It is kind of front running some of the levels, and because BTC then didn't yet reach the certain targets or levels or certain retraces, then it does it in a little bit of a later stage, and then ETH breaks the initial kind of nice structure that it put out. If we are going higher, there's still a few major levels. You could say, you know what, we're just slowly grinding up, but nothing major. We're in this structure approximately since halfway January, so that's a bit more than 4 weeks, 5 weeks now. Above us we have a important support and resistance line coming in just shy of 1800. That is the top that we put in here since September. Then we have a gray line here at 78.6. from a major retracement, and this is then really the top of that retracement, and that's also where I have another support and resistance flip at 2030. To be honest, I think once the speed starts picking up on ETH, this is my main target, that bit more than $2,000 for ETH before we getting a major retracement. That will be a 22% up from here. If we would also breach that, then I'm looking out for 21,600, but that is for now still pretty far away. Something else I want to look at, what's actually very nice to see, is ETH versus BTC chart, and this is kind of the bigger kind of block where we are in. So this is kind of where we have been in since May 21 already, and you can see that sometimes we broke out from the bottom. This is a little bit biased. You could also say, you know what, this is kind of our range. I like to pull it here, and it looks like we can just not really escape this. And of course, if this goes higher, then BTC rallies versus, ETH rallies versus BTC. But start to look now a little bit different. This is on the daily, as you can see here, and it looks like that the momentum waves really now want to roll up to the upside. Also, something that I noticed yesterday, that's actually interesting to see if I just zoom in here on the hourly, and this could be just a single event, but it kind of will support the idea for ETH picking up steam versus BTC, and that is that this move from the bottom to the top was 5%, and for BTC this was approximately or shy of 4%. Earlier we also had a drop. I think there was some news about Binance and some future traders in Australia that some of the position got liquidated to apply with the law. For BTC, we almost at a few dollars we retraced completely. And you can see now that it didn't happen. We just only quote unquote retraced 3%, and then now we are going to the upside again. It will be nice if this is 0.5 or the golden pocket, exactly the golden pocket. Look at that, perfect, 61.8, and you can see that we're now just going higher again. BTC is not there yet at all. So this just signals actually only measured from yesterday on that there is more strength on ETH than it is on the BTC. Doesn't mean that this is the start sign and ETH is now going to rally to 2000, yippee-ki-yay, but this is really the first time that I see it, that ETH is starting to outperform BTC, and I'm trying to keep an eye on it already for, I think, approximately 2-3 weeks, and I always on the performance, but now since yesterday was the first time. Could be that we're underperforming again in a couple of days, and then this whole idea of ETH picking up steam versus BTC is then maybe off for a little bit, or in the fridge if you want to say, but for now actually it looks good. First my major target would also be, of course, to take out this, but this is pretty obvious. I think it's the same kind of for BTC. We have the liquidity here, then these tops right here. Actually this looks very nice, almost too juicy not to take out, and then we can really rally here to the upside, and then we're already talking about 1760 for ETH. Yeah, more than 6%, so that actually would be super nice to trade. Underneath, of course, we still have these lows and we have the golden pocket and everything, but so far I have to say it looks like we want to go higher. The chart on the macro, to be honest, is not that pretty. The money flow is clearly now leaving into the red. We have our bearish divergences on the 12-hour. The only thing is that this high was such a clear SFP, and it was exactly the same for BTC. That is almost too easy as a top to trade. So actually I want to see something a bit more difficult, a little bit more ugly to really signal a top. So really something like a deviation, or something with a few fake outs, or really a very even more clear, or I would maybe even need to say an unclear divergence, or something that goes like this on the daily, but then the momentum waves are just slightly lower, and then the price is slightly higher. That actually is a little bit confusing for a lot of traders, and therefore it is actually a very nice trade. So usually the things that are not so obvious, that is what I'm looking for, because I also stated this a few times on Twitter, especially crowded trades is something I don't like, and then you usually see the opposite happening. If this really starts to break higher, and with that being said, you could also, by the way, say to make it a little bit more clear that we have a bit of a bottom here. Not super clear, but you can see actually, yeah, it's maybe a little bit of a range, but these two lines, let me take this out. It looks like we're finding a little bit of a bottom here. So this actually would be nice if we can find our way higher, and like I said, then I do see ETH rallying up. I do not expect that suddenly we're gonna see days and weeks on end with a factor 2 to catch up, but a little bit of extensive period of time to see maybe something between 1 and 1.5. So if if BTC rallies 1%, I want to see ETH at least doing 1%, but better is approximately 1.5%. And to keep doing that for a couple of days or weeks, then you can see that this might go up and we can start attacking maybe these tops here again. It is not for me full on bull mode and we're going to the top 100k yippee-ki-yay long the farm, absolutely not. But slowly we are seeing signs that it is going a little bit better with the market, and therefore you also see money rotating from super safe assets to a little bit more risky assets. And of course people start then first with Bitcoin, and then later on they start rolling down to ETH or Ripple or other altcoins down the list. So that's kind of my my theory and my idea. If you like the content, guys, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share the video with your friends if you think that's useful. Also feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And like I said earlier, I will also make a real quick short video, an update about BTC. You can expect that probably within an hour, maybe 2 from now. Thank you guys so much. See you next one. Bye bye.